What's up with it, y'all? I'm JP, and this is Watch This Ish Reactions, where I react to a whole lot of different ish. Today, we got Munchie, B, and Jefe speaking on the Wack100 and Mooseman beef up in No Jumper. Yeah, now that you know the deal, hey man, y'all slap that like, subscribe with your boy, and hit that bell notification so you know when all the new content drop. With all that being said, let's go.
So let's talk about the fact that we had a little bit of drama on this podcast the other day. The only person here who was actually here for it was Doughboy.
Okay.
But I was doing the Adam and Wack podcast with Wack and Jefe in the building. And and I decided to do a little bit of a play. And
He waiting on the seat, Doughboy.
Oh, I didn't know.
I mean...
You gonna pull another garb up?
Oh, put me... Oh, okay.
I was wondering how this was going to sort itself out as well.
What's up, babe?
What's going on in Jefe? But anyway, I had decided in advance that I wanted to give Wack a little bit of a surprise. So I invited Mooseman to come through the podcast. And Wack did say, maybe like 5 days before I did this, that he did not want me to bring Moose on the podcast. And I did it anyway. And it created some fireworks. You could say it was probably the most viral moment we had in a little while. Mm-hmm. And there's been a lot of fallout since. And I guess we could just kind of throw that out there. Let's talk about how you felt about it. Munchie, I feel like you might be someone who's kind of just brimming with
most viral time and no jump in a long time. That's exactly what Adam wanted.
On this one.
I got a lot of them.
Let's hear it.
Hey, no, because I haven't been there, but you know, you got Spuddy Face, you got Young Gang, you got Wack100. You know what I'm saying? They all been to this place called YA. You know what I'm saying? Mm-hmm. And a lot of the games that Wack plays is YA games. You know what I'm saying? If you got somebody beat by the brain, you got them. You know what I'm saying? And if Moose would have threw a punch, he lost before he even started the fight because he had him beat, because Wack wasn't gonna do nothing. You know what I'm saying? He had all opportunity if he really wanted to.
I disagree.
Why you say Moose lost if he threw a punch?
Because he already lost, bro. He had him beat by the brain. Like, you know, somebody beat by the mouth and now they believe it. You know what I'm saying?
Okay, but Doughboy just said, I don't agree. What do you not agree with? He said that Wack wasn't going to do anything, which was my assumption as well, which is why I told Moose. I said, Moose, I will make sure. I said, Moose, I will make sure he doesn't do anything to you.
Listen, so I'm a little closer to this situation because I got a show with Adam and Moose. So we were talking about this, right? And so that day, I had got off the phone with Wack that morning. And I had talked to him about a myriad of things. We had talked for like 45 minutes. And then in the conversation, I said, hey, we're supposed to be podding together with Moose. He told me, now this is no cameras around. It's just me and this man having a conversation. He was like, Doughboy, and his whole tone changed. Doughboy, I'm going to tell you, look, I fuck with you. You cool. I like your energy. I like what you're doing. I don't fuck with that dude. I'm not sitting down with him. I don't want to work with him. I don't want nothing to do. And I said, hey, man, say less. It's all good. I hop in the group chat with him and Moose. I said, yo, Wack ain't running with it. He said he's all right with me. He's not messing with Moose. He don't want to mess with it. They made their decision that they were going to do this thing, that they were going to bring Moose up there and do it anyway.
I didn't even discuss it any further past that. We already had it planned out and we were already going to do it.
I didn't. I didn't know this until I got here. So when I got here, like, yeah, Moose is going to show up. I'm like, bro, that's not a good idea. I'm telling these niggas.
Hold on, but hold on. You said Moose never said it wasn't a good idea.
Who, me?
Adam said that.
What?
No, Moose, when I was telling him that I wanted to do it, all I told him was, I will make sure Wack doesn't do anything. No. Don't worry about it.
Excuse me. You said Doughboy said it wasn't never. You never heard him say it wasn't a good idea?
I said, don't do it. He ain't going with it. He don't want to pod with him. We never sat down and talked, well, let's just surprise him. I didn't know that was even a thing until I got here that day.
Hey,
and I told them then, I said, I don't think you should do this. And I'm not breaking these up if they start fighting.
Hold on, but before we proceed,
yeah,
Adam, you just said something that was key. You said you told Moose that Wack wasn't gonna do nothing, and you was gonna make sure he didn't do nothing.
He didn't.
How in your mind did you know that Wack wasn't gonna do nothing, and you could stop Wack from doing something if he decided to do something?
Fair question.
Because I knew that if it came down to it, I was going to throw my body on top of Mooseman and form an almost human blanket type apparatus, and that I know that Wack wouldn't hit me. So ultimately, I don't. And honestly, even what Wack did, I did not expect anything like that. I thought that when I
Stop right there. See that? This dude Adam, you know, he plays a dangerous game. You know what I'm saying? He thinking he gonna run the play after a grown man tell you, hey man, I ain't with this dude, but he gonna run the play anyway. He thinks he's gonna be able to stop something. He willing to put people's lives on the line for this content, man. It's plain to see. You know what I'm saying? We ain't giving a damn about what Wack say. Mooseman, come on up here anyway. You don't know whether Wack got a 40 in his waist and had a bad day. You don't know what folks is on. You just can't do that kind of stuff, man. Hey, man, let's keep watching.
brought Moose into the room, that Wack was going to maybe yell at him, have a crazy podcast style conversation with him, but I definitely did not expect that he was going to jump out of his seat and go crazy on him the way that he actually did.
Did you think that Moose was going to be as aggressive as he was, coming in with like the silence but the very loud stare? Sat down at the table.
The Kobe stare,
right?
He gave
Moose came in with a different energy than I was expecting, but then also, once I reviewed some more game tape, I did realize that Moose had said stuff that was a little bit more extreme in the direction of Wack than what I previously knew about.
The king of running plays, the game tape. Y'all heard it.
I don't think he's gonna do nothing.
So that fool don't want to fight me. That whatever he said.
I mean, the whole question is like, why would Wack have done anything to Moose? Because let's be real, Moose has never been a threat to him. He never really said that he was going to do anything to him. He's just like not a threat. It doesn't make sense to fight somebody unless they are a threat to you or unless they have disrespected you to such an extent that you feel like you can't leave this room without hurting them, right? And clearly neither of those conditions had been met. Now, I understand Wack doesn't like him. Sure. But
that's enough.
He doesn't really have a whole lot of a reason to not like him, aside from some small podcast.
And I could go with you on that narrative at that moment. And then when let's just say, but when he gets here, that's where I think things kind of change. I think if he would have came in a Nacho Libre shit on some funny shit, Mac probably would have, Wack probably would have been like, oh, this wasn't. That
would have been so crazy.
But I just think that he came in and y'all have been around Moose. Moose ain't no little. Like, he's a big dude. Like, you know what I'm saying?
And also, Moose does carry himself with a lot of confidence, and he moves confidently.
Yes.
So he sits there really peacocking, really
sitting there like,
presenting himself like a rooster.
Yeah,
a rooster. Ironically,
Moose man's supposed to stood up like a conquistador.
I agree with he's supposed to.
Rooster man.
This what I'm going to say. Look. Wack hit him, you know what I'm saying? Wack hit him with the YA special. Hit him with the Black Bully special.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? Wack wasn't gonna do nothing to him. Look, Wack hit him with the bully special. See, look, Moose already disarmed himself, man. Look, it ain't no problem, man. It's cool. Bing. And once he kept gassing up like that, man, come outside, move, man. Look, it's already over with.
The camera's on.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So, Wack, I think Wack, it was like Munchie said, it was more like of a mind thing, like just showed him up on camera, like, okay, Adam pulled the play, now I'm about to pull this play out and show out. But he wasn't about to hit him, because one thing about it, he could have got through Creep. He threw Creep for a minute, and he could have got through you. He could have went around you.
I mean, if he really wanted to, and especially if Creep had turned, because Creep was trying to stop him. If Creep had decided, like, oh, it's on, like, we need to beat this fool up,
fake stop.
Then it might have been a little different. Yeah.
Even if Creep wouldn't stopped him, like, he wasn't about to hit Moose. That was just you know what I'm saying? I didn't want to pie with you. I told Adam he brought you here anyway, so now I'm going to just mark you out on camera. You feel me? It's about to go viral.
It would have been so indefensible if he had hit Moose. Like, to me, him even jumping out of his seat and acting like that it's just unjustifiable. But for him to have actually hit him would have been so OD. And also, like, sometimes I wonder if Wack gets this, but if he had hit him, that means Wack's never coming back. Podcast over. You can do other parts. We're
too much on the line.
Our relationship, if you hit somebody in this building, is done.
Yeah, well, I got too much on the line. You know, as far as, you know, I don't know his business endeavors, but as far as from what he's saying, how he speak, like, you know, to get off on Moose, you know what I'm saying, over
Subscribe
whatever y'all
to
got
the
into
channel.
it, that was just, you know, that would have been stupid.
But I think it's safe to say too, though, like honestly, like I know you sitting here like it's unfathomable to you to be able to punch somebody over something that they said. But I'm pretty sure everybody at this table can tell you people die over
That's
words.
not true at all, because in reality, things that someone says are a perfectly good reason to punch somebody. Yeah, to kill someone, sure.
Right.
But in this situation, the worst thing that you can point to is like Mooseman saying that he's short and fat, which are like difficult to argue.
But the truth cannot be considered disrespect, right? So if you're a short, stubby mother.
Said too many things that it's too easy to back him into a corner.
That's the thing, that gets taken a little out of context, because it wasn't that he was just like, Wack is short and fat. Like, no, it was me asking him a question saying, is this real? Because he said he gonna slap you. Hey, dope boy, I'm real. Ain't nobody worried about that little short fat dude. So when you put it in that context, it's, I ain't worried about that. Like, I can see him. That's how that can come across. It's not just you're a fat short dude. Like that wasn't how that came out.
Right, but I mean, still, like, someone calling you short and fat is just not an appropriate reason to fight someone.
No, I ain't gonna lie. Once I seen, I ain't gonna even lie. Like I said, because I gotta stand on, you know what I'm saying, realist. Like, once I seen like the little clip from Moose, I don't think it was with you. Was he sitting down like with some like a Rasa podcast or something like that?
Yeah, that was him on the Lames.
He been on a little tour.
Yeah, so they asking him questions, and they was like, man, so what's up with you and Wack? And he like basically said the same thing, like, man, like that, man, that's a little short, little fat. Like, man, you know, I squabbled him. So when I seen that and I seen like the Wack gas up, I was disappointed.
Yeah, because it was totally different in person. And Moose is my boy, but I'm gonna be like you said, call the ball, strike. Like, I'm gonna keep it 100. Like,
and not that I wanted you to fight, but just stand your ground. Like, don't run up on me. Like, hey man, you better back up. Or what you talking about? But it was just like when he put the hands up, said 911 speak.
That's just.
I'm against that for sure. I'm not with talking crazy to somebody. And then when somebody about to meet your disrespect, then you talk about the police. I don't. You got to keep the same energy, bro.
I mean that's what they doing. First and foremost, though, I will say though, I don't even F with Wack though. But at the end of the day, I didn't think that was right. The way y'all ran a play on him, I didn't think that was right, because if somebody say, they don't want to pod with somebody, you know what I'm saying, you should definitely respect that. But
true statement.
Contraire, he does the same thing.
Right.
He does the same thing. So you don't get that same respect. You don't get that same respect if somebody tell you, like, hey, look, it's a real problem, because you do the same thing.
Well,
so
I repeatedly used you as an example where I said, look, like, you were cool with Spotify and you popped out with somebody that you knew that Spotify really did not want to sit down and do a podcast with. And Spotify's reasons for not with Drake are way more solid than Wack's reasons for not with Moose. And Wack did that anyway, and his only way of justifying it was to say, DC Baby Draco never talked shit about Spotify. Like, at that time. Is that true? Because it seems like it's probably not true, right?
That's definitely not true. That's definitely not true.
Yeah.
But again, that just to go to show you, man, these dudes be out here pump faking, bro. And like I said, I'm mad at Moose. I'm mad at Moose too, because Moose be having a certain type of ending. I gotta call Moose out, man. Shout out to Moose. He doing a good job. But listen, I said I was gonna say it. So I'm gonna say it right here, right now. Moose had a different, this is what I don't respect about Moose. Moose had a different type of energy to the homie TF Third, bro. When they got up in there, they had a conversation, and he had, to me, in my personal opinion, I was not there, but it's only just what I heard, and they said it on the news. It's like, oh yeah, we had a conversation, and we said we went to the alley or whatever the case is. You had that certain type of energy to TF, but you didn't have that type of energy to Wack. I don't respect that.
But didn't they allegedly have a little?
Stop it right there. I'm gonna say this, man, about the running plays, the whole thing like that. You know, Adam run plays, Wack run plays, and, you know, it's content. People gonna run plays. But on the flip side of that coin is, I hate to speak it, but it's gonna come a time, and it's gonna, you know, probably already has. You know, I don't know whether this was all the way a play, whether Wack knew anything about it or not. But it's going to come a time when somebody go with the running the play, and the other party that's getting the play ran on ain't going to be on that kind of time, and it's going to break bad, and it ain't going to be good for nobody. So you going to have to be careful. They going to have to be careful with the running the plays, because it's going to be a day to where it get real ugly when the person ain't on that, ain't feeling that, and it break bad, and everybody's whole thing gonna be in jeopardy because it's gonna get ugly and spill out and the content, the cameras is off and it's over. Shut it down. Somebody done got hurt real bad. That's what's gonna happen, man. Anyway, y'all hit that like button, subscribe with your boy. Let's go.
Fade in the parking lot?
I don't think they had a fade.
You don't believe it?
Whatever
think so?
whatever the outcome or whatever the understanding that they got, they was 2 men and they went and got understanding. My whole thing is why you didn't do that with Wack though.
Yeah.
But he did. He pulled up to the podcast and he said, "Let's talk."
No, but Wack invited him outside.
You didn't. You want to talk about no type of alley time. You want to talk
Heard
about
what Wack
no
said? Hey, the homies out there. He wasn't about to go out there.
You know what I'm saying? So
The
that's
whole
what I'm
play
like.
thing gonna get
Shout out to
ugly.
Moose, man, but I'm kind of feeling
One
like, you know what I'm
day.
saying, like you picking and you choosing with that. I don't
Hey, the homies out there.
I don't respect that, bro. You got to keep that same type of
I think
energy,
Moose
bro.
should be more consistent with either viewpoint of either like, I'm like with me, I say I am not a fighter and I'm not gonna fight you about anything.
Right.
Yeah.
And Moose has kind of done both where he like has said like, yeah, I'm down for a fade, whatever, which I believe him. He's probably down to fight. He's probably fought
too.
people throughout his life. But then also when the Wack situation comes up, and I am pretty sure that Wack is not really a fade that he wants. I feel like that would probably be bad for him. He kind of goes in a different direction. Like I feel like
I don't think that'll necessarily be true. Moose not no small guy. I think Moose, to be honest, I think Moose be playing possum, bro. I think
he's a
if you-
sleeper?
I think if you put your hands on Moose, he's going to defend himself at all. I don't think Moose. He just because
don't
because
look
the
like a
person is
bitch.
non-confrontational, bro, or they just saying, look, I'm just here to pot. That don't mean like you the B word. That don't mean that make you a less than man. You're like, look, unless it's absolutely necessary, I'm not with the violence, and I can understand that. I can respect that. But what I don't respect is when you picking and choosing. If Wack fired on Moose, I don't think Moose is just gonna like, all right, Wack, all right, okay, all right. I don't think he would do that.
no, he probably would have fought.
Hey,
But
I got a question.
Exactly.
real
I
quick.
think he was more scared of the people outside or whatever the case is, or the repercussions. You know what I'm saying? That's like a motherfucker having a strap to your, you know what I'm saying, your head. Like, you know what
They
I'm
ain't
saying?
like no trap. They ain't like
I mean,
no
so
trap.
you know what's waiting outside that door for
But
you.
this is it to even add another layer to that, because you saying he wasn't on that energy with Tev Third, right? The day after that shit happened with Wack, he went on, I think it was it Mac Wop shit?
Yeah.
And he was getting into it with Pot Lord, like, well, pull up, we can get at, like,
That's another. Yeah,
like, so, you can fight these, but when a was in your face throwing a bottle at you, you was talking about police.
Pot Lord, he would whoop Pot Lord pretty
Keep
easily.
it
I'm
consistent.
quite sure, you know.
So you'll tell him to pull up and get out.
That's what it seemed
But
like.
when the energy was here.
I forgot about that.
That's why- that's why I brought
bottle
it up.
throwing
Look.
shit. Yeah, damn, I forgot
Hey,
about
Doughboy,
that.
I don't think he had no intentions on fighting nobody. At this point, Moose just popping. He entertaining, bro.
Right.
He,
But what I'm
performing.
But
Once they said they had a
what he
conversation or so-called fading in J
right.
reality.
And he told Pot Lord to pull up so they can get
Ain't
out.
nobody had no fake.
He said that.
They
That's
both
what he
they both said that on the news with me, bro.
But it's like,
Then who won?
What
I
if,
don't know. I didn't.
what if Moose's attitude towards Wack was, you're part of No Jumper, I'm part of No Jumper, let's just do a podcast, let's talk about our issues. But then his attitude towards Pot Lord is, oh, you want to call into this podcast talking shit? Like, I guess if you're going to pull up, we're going to have to fight. Those two things aren't necessarily contradictory.
There y'all have it. Munchie B and Aunt Jefe and the rest of the No Jumper camp go down through there on the Wack100 and Mooseman beef. Hey man, y'all jump in the comments, leave your thoughts, slap a like, hit the hype, subscribe with the tribe, and continue to rock with me so you can watch this ish.